MetLife short-term disability for ACS, shame on you. I broke my fibula and dislocated my ankle on the 17th of this month. I made sure to fax the information from my orthopedic surgeon, which included the dates of the information I was seen by the people at the emergency room as soon as possible per your request. Joan then called and said she would need proof of the dates I was seen, proof that this break wasn't some pre-existing condition from the emergency room itself. I indicated that my orthopedic surgeon was not only affiliated with the complex, a practice within the complex associated with the hospital and the ER, but that he also performed his operations in the operating rooms at said hospital. So she was going to see what she could do with that. Funny enough, while I was in the hospital the day after my surgery, Joan called me to tell me that unless they received that information from the ER docs, that the claim would be denied. My first broken leg ever. Denied! Just wonderful. Denied because none of the information I was able to provide, in which my orthopedic surgeon, who was called and consulted during my emergency room experience, was acceptable. No. You still needed the ER doctors. Joan, I tried explaining to you that I felt that you were doing everything to deny me of something that I put money into every single paycheck, and instead you said that it was my fault. That maybe if I could provide you with other numbers, a better method of getting a hold of them, it would fix this. I had to explain to you that I was still in the hospital post-surgery in incredible amounts of pain, which I still am now, and wasn't sure what I, in this predicament, could do. This was yesterday when we had that conversation. The staff of the Valley General Hospital in Monroe then came to my rescue. My nurse saw how distressed I was and got in touch with a woman by the name of Kristy, who's affiliated with records and insurance and to running and having to deal with all of this stupid red tape, bless her heart. She got in touch with MetLife 3 different times to be sure of things, to make sure that she had all the information, all of her ducks in a row. Well, every single time she called, she needed to make sure that of the information, mainly because we couldn't get a hold of the ER doctors. ER doctors rotate out of the emergency room. Oh my God, who would have thought? So getting a hold of them to fill out a questionnaire is pretty difficult. So each time that Kristy brought this up with a different MetLife agent, other than Joan, each MetLife agent said, no, that's okay. Just fax us the records from the ER visit. That should have the dates there and that should be fine enough. Well, yeah, those records would indicate the dates on which I was seen and rule out the period of time for pre-existing conditions. However, this morning, Joan called me and harassed me, demanding why it was possible for them to fax all of that ER information to her and not get the ER doctors to fill out a simple questionnaire. I had to remind her that, yet again, these doctors rotate out of the ER. ER doctors are always on rotation and never easy to get a hold of. And I also told her that 3 of her coworkers told Kristy that this information would be more than enough to reverse the decision of denied to be approved, because I was denied my short-term disability claim. Joan disagreed. She said that she wasn't sure that there was anything she could do, but she would go ahead and try to process it with what little information that she had there. Clearly, because the fact that my orthopedic surgeon filled out said questionnaire, and clearly we sent records from the ER that her coworkers said were more than acceptable, it wasn't enough information. I broke my fibula and dislocated my ankle on the 17th of October. This is my first break ever. Money comes out of my paycheck every month to pay for the short-term disability. I have provided sufficient proof that this was not a pre-existing condition, and yet I have a feeling MetLife short-term disability for ACS will continue to deny me. Patients who are just getting out of surgery should not have to deal with this. To companies out there looking for insurance agencies to provide short-term disability for their employees, don't choose MetLife. The emotional and financial damage it will wreak will crush employee morale, and to MetLife, all I have to say to you is shame on you and thanks for nothing.